Hi guys again for tonight in this fourth stream. With me is my dear buddy Helzo, and we're going to discuss Comic-Con overall, till now. Real quick, what we saw and what we think about all of those trailers. So, hi dear buddy Helzo.
Hello, it's me. I see Helzo.
Yes.
Yes.
And so today I made several trailer reaction just to check the sound of the stream, guys. Sick. So, hi, dear buddy. Okay, we can hear each other. Everything's fine. So what do you think about, what happened till now? I mean, what do you think about Shazam first? Let's start with Shazam.
By the way, Shazam was a very nice surprise because as soon as they announced it, I don't know half a year ago, I think. I was basically contemplating what it would be. Will it be some dark and gritty stuff, or will it be childish? And it's basically both. With I think at the moment the trailer showed a good atmosphere for Shazam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. There's, people said in the chat when I was reacting that they're worried that the movie is going to be too, too jokey, and that Shazam is too much of a goof. But I think that it's kind of, normal for him to start that way because he is a kid. That's not like that this happened before. So I think that's kind of okay for now, but let's see, how the movie is going to play out
Yeah,
this.
yeah, but like you have to remember that Shazam is actually like this child, and he's always being childish, even in the animations. Like he's always been a bit childish, even though he has the body of a grown man.
Yeah, there's that too. That's what I said basically.
Yeah.
Although I do remember Shazam being more serious some points when I saw him in animation in just this that game, Gods Among Us, Injustice Gods Among Us. Just to say hi to Ivy.
Hello, Eddie.
Thank you for reporting about the sound. Always important to know, so
Hmm.
we don't have to check all the time. The costume's kind of bulky, as I discussed. Also, it's too much of a foam, too much of a padding. It kind of looks ridiculous if you think about some poses that he makes. It's too obvious. It's not like Man of Steel's costume, but we'll
I
see.
suspect they're gonna update it. They're gonna retune it just a little bit. If you remember with X-Men Apocalypse, if you watched the trailers before the movie, like everyone was furious about Apocalypse, even with the leaked photos and everything. And in the final cut, they added enough CGI and stuff to make it look decent. So I
Well,
think the costume will be updated.
kind of different things to change, but maybe it's possible. Just watch out for those cats, though.
Yeah, cats are running wild.
They're moving the camera.
They're my
Okay,
cat streamers.
so basically, Shazam, are you excited about it?
Yeah, actually, I am. This is something I would gladly enjoy, but uh, I'm probably sure that I'm not going in with very high or serious expectations. I,
Ooh, it's the fluffy Freya.
yes, she's excited as well.
She's so cute. I love to just squish her and play with her. Anyways, so yeah, Shazam, I think is gonna be a different, direction for DC, and that's one of the topics that we discussed. That this is going in such a different direction now that basically begs the question: how are they going to make everything seamless, the transition between dark and the light? But I do think that if they can play out like it is in real life, there's dark moments, there are dark periods, there are lighter moments in life, that we can have a normal transition between these styles. So I hope that that's the case. They're gonna make it seamless because we do have this world of Shazam where everything's supposed to be lighter, and we do have this world of Aquaman that's supposed to be somewhere in between, and he's a funny guy. So if they can make this very natural, it's gonna be, awesome. And there's not, we're not gonna think about how darker the previous movies actually were if everything connects in a natural way.
Yeah, but keep in mind, Shazam has almost no connection to the previous movies, so it's easier to do that transition, but Aquaman has. So it's gonna be a more difficult job for Aquaman to do what you're saying. Although, but the trailer was nice.
Well, I did say that it's in between the two. It's obviously in between the two because he did have humor in Justice League. They are
Yeah.
sticking to his character, and at the same time they're presenting the world and the problem that he's gonna face, which is dark, and sometimes we have a bit of light because he's very upbeat personality. Hi
Yeah.
to Hellraiser.
Hello.
Yes, hi to Helzo. He says hi to you as well. Ivy says something about the the your cat. I mean,
What? Let me see. I want to see.
little did we know the cat is mind controlling half a galaxy right now. I'm just
Yes,
reading what he says, which is always awesome. Thanks, Ivy.
the world and this. Back to Aquaman. Like when I watched the trailer, like this is basically the story for the most part that they told in Justice League: The Throne of Atlantis, one of the latest animated movies from Justice League, the animated series. The Throne of Atlantis. This is basically that story. Like the sea, there were some scenes that were almost identical with the
Really?
animated series. Yeah, like I
Is
compare them
is that
when I watched
recent actually? Because I maybe
Throne of
missed it.
Atlantis. It's in 2017.
Ah, don't.
It's when we talk the new Justice League, the one which is tied up to Justice League Doom, the Young Justice, everything, the new animation, everything, like with Constantine, with everything, with the Teen Titans movies that we talked in the previous stream.
Oh, you're telling me that I've missed the DC movie? I mean, I haven't seen Suicide Squad, the animated movie, but I missed this as well. Wow.
Suicide Squad, the animated movie, is amazing. I strongly recommend. And every movie, like every DC animated movie from 3 years back, is worth it. Yeah, absolutely worth it.
Okay, I'll have that in mind to check that, to
Like
have
DC,
more.
DC are dominating the animated universe at the moment. Marvel cannot compare in the animated department, not with any animation that they currently have.
I
This
agree.
is this is the difference. Like Marvel are with TV series and movies, but the animated part this year just way above.
They've always been very awesome
Yeah,
in the animated department. Okay, so as we have to move this along, Aquaman is, like we said, yeah, very impressive in terms of special effects, how they present the powers of the
yeah.
characters, the trident powers, how the two trident connect. I just thought, when I saw that, like, isn't there supposed to be like one trident only?
Yes, there is one trident of Atlantis that King Poseidon used to wield, and now it's basically passed along. But I don't think the other one is a true trident, but that's some other weapon or maybe a spear. It could be anything. We're gonna see.
You mean that it looks like a trident, but it's actually not a trident?
It could be a spear with the shape of a trident. Like trident is a symbol, but there is only one trident, like true trident that is the thing, the magical thing, like the powerful trident, because the trident is a very powerful mystical weapon.
Yeah, of course, but when it looks like a trident, it is a trident, but it's not as powerful as maybe a main trident. But it's still a trident because of the shape, that's why it's called a
Could be,
trident.
yeah, could be another trident, could be just both of them could be ordinary trident because there was a duel scene, like Arthur Curry, Aquaman challenging his brother for the throne. They could be both wielding dual tridents just for the sake of the fight, and the real weapon could be something else. Like I did saw the trident, and that scene when you saw two tridents is I think another another weapon altogether. It's not the real big trident with a big horns.
Well, maybe it's just lesser tridents of some sorts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be anything, but I'm almost certain that they're not gonna mess with that particularly, and there's gonna be one main trident.
Okay, well, moving on from the trident. Anything else that made a big impression on you from the Aquaman trailer?
There were I saw some green underwater creatures that were like a tribe, but they showed them very briefly. I could have like mislooked, and I found it strange. I very much like the scene where Arthur Curry is just a child in the aquarium, like the aqua yeah, the aquarium, and just all the fishes gathered to protect him behind the glass. That was an amazing scene. I enjoyed it very much. That's amazing, amazingly done.
Yeah, that's interesting. Although I'm kind of sick of seeing superheroes when they were kids. I don't know why. I'm just kind of tired of that, especially when I see that beat 'em up scene. Then I saw the beat 'em up scene in the Shazam trailer. Then I remember the beat 'em up scene in Man of Steel, and I was like, okay. The only difference is that in Shazam, Shazam himself wasn't getting beat up, but other than that, so like a cliche, like just get the smaller kid and push him against something. But
Yeah, and
anyways,
Arthur Curry didn't know that he was Aquaman at the point.
well, he did feel something, maybe.
Yeah, he felt rage, and that's what happened with the fish. But I don't think he knew before that because he was a little kid. Story-wise, he was raised by his father, and he doesn't know what he is. He finds out when he's an adult.
Is that by the comic book?
I don't know. As with every comic book, origin stories vary. So it's one of the origin stories. I think one of the more recent. I might be like, I'm not that good with comic books, but I do tend to find out which origin story. I think they did one of the more recent and more expanded ones with Justice League Throne of Atlantis and with this one. It was, I think, one of the new 52 one, the new 52 universe, because most of them are canon, some of them are not changed, some of them have removed or added events into the origin story as well, and some of them are completely changed.
I see. Well, okay. I'm just gonna say that whatever story the movie decided to present, I'm gonna watch it with utmost joy, hopefully, and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so next thing that I really want to talk to you about, of course, it's Godzilla real quick. I still have the
Yeah.
Godzilla
Yeah.
freaking still right here. Just let me
It's a great
change
shot. I
that.
see it. It's a great shot. It's like Godzilla just flexing.
Oh yeah, basically he's so big.
Well,
he's very
right.
he's very big. Ah, don't turn into turn
No,
it.
no, I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Okay.
Basically, that Godzilla is that shape of Godzilla is amazing. Shut
Yeah.
up. Now, don't you turn something.
Okay, I won't. I won't. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I really like it. Just
However, I watched the trailer and I was laughing. I was laughing so much
why?
because the story is ridiculous.
Ah,
It's absolutely. It's not. I don't think it's any of the original in any of the comic books. It's just absolutely ridiculous
are you
on
familiar
every
with
level.
the original stories of the original movies?
Not very much. Like I do know that Godzilla, like the first Godzilla movie that came out in 2016, did tell in a good origin story. Like Godzilla was a force of nature, a very ancient one. That's basically it. And there's a lot of movies in Japan that in one movie Godzilla is good, in others he's bad. In a third, there's a Mecha Godzilla that basically is a robot Godzilla. There are mutals, there are aliens, there are giant butterflies. But
Oh
what I
yeah.
saw,
Actually,
what I saw today. Sorry.
actually, I saw the butterflies once when I just came across some old footage. Yes.
Yeah, Mothra. They're called Mothra, and
Ah, Mothra. Yes,
there
that's
are two
that's cool.
Mothras that kill Godzilla in this particular movie.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and Godzilla, like while they're carrying to the ocean, I remember Godzilla is still alive and chews one of the Mothra's neck, and the Mothra drops with him in the sea.
Wait.
Yeah, that like the stories and the deviations and the origin stories and everything continuing is a mess with Godzilla. But I don't think this is canon in any universe. I might be mistaken, but I'm at least I haven't seen it anywhere.
Okay, where when I was reviewing the trailer, my main point was that what I don't really think it's a good idea, the direction of the plot, basically that the human side, I mean, one part of the human side are gonna, want to support the monsters because they think that they're gonna save the world for some reason that I just cannot explain to myself right now. And the other, of course, will think that those people are monsters, ironically, so they're gonna try to stop them. So that is what I found ridiculous because, as of now, I just cannot tell how this is gonna make sense. And I just can't judge by the trailer and say that. How come this be, what is the logic behind bringing something to life that can destroy the whole planet on its own. I mean, just one of those creatures basically that require a lot of food, I presume.
Yes,
They have
nuclear
to,
waste.
yeah, they have to. I mean, I don't know if they all can survive on nuclear power. I just know about Godzilla. But I mean that they require a lot of resources to survive, to live. How are they gonna save the world? Why are we the bad guys? I just don't
From
get
what I
it.
saw, from what I saw in the trailer, the plan was that awaken all the monsters under the pretext that they're gonna save the world, and then you see some of the monsters destroying cities and etc etc. Someone saying to that blonde woman who proposed to awaken that she's a monster. So basically, if they stick to a very basic plot, it's going to be, yeah, I'm gonna convince you to awaken the monsters. I'm gonna betray you, and because I'm actually a fanatic who wants to control the monsters and eradicate all humans and become the god of this planet. It's silly enough and it's Godzilla enough to be the plot. Because as we all know, Godzilla is not something you watch for the plot. You watch Godzilla to see Godzilla.
Well, yeah, but I've heard, I mean, I read from the comments in my stream that some of those monsters in the original movies actually had character to them. Uh,
Yeah.
so basically, one of them even could communicate with humans. One had purpose, like, I think the three-headed monster had
The
some
Hydra.
kind. The Hydra, yes, she had. I mean, she's basically a king, or he. So they had some kind of a substance to them that kind of will make sense. And of course, some of my viewers said that they're basically presented more like animals rather than intelligent creatures, which is kind of like what I'm feeling for now. But real quick to the comment section, Ivy says, wow, he said a lot of things. Sorry, Ivy, that I couldn't get to you. We're just gonna have to get this quicker. Connection for a bit came back to life, thankfully. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I'm reading them as well, by the way.
I'm streaming, yeah. Very, very silly to be honest. I'm serious and epic. Okay. I know that they used to be silly, but still, you guys said that they had some kind of a character behind the monsters at least. They get movies into consideration. Then there are also galactic
Insanity that can come
insanity.
into play. Like the giant
Giants.
space bug who look like apes.
This is the thing. Well, I'm pretty sure that Japanese movies, all of that, they have the tendency to be super crazy.
Yes.
So I get that. Okay, enough about Godzilla. We're gonna see it. We are kind of excited about it, or how excited about it are you actually?
I'm just going there to see Godzilla wreck some stuff up. I never go to a Godzilla movie for the plot.
Okay, well, we still have to, you know,
I'm
sink
excited,
our
but
teeth
I'm
into
not I'm
something.
not having any expectations in the plot. I just want more Godzilla, more effects, and better stuff. Like this is going to be just my primal pleasure of seeing a giant primal monster destroying shit and being dominant over everything.
Well,
Sorry,
I Yes, I see that, but I guess that they decided to use Millie Bobby Brown to add some substance to the movie because why else would you hire her? She's just so awesome, kind of like too awesome to the point where she thinks that she cannot show up on a live show for some reason. I mean that's other things from real life, but she kind of has an attitude and self-esteem that is higher than. Busha up hotel right now, but she has coverage to that self-esteem at least. But anyways, enough about her. Next thing that I really want to talk about that I probably won't get the chance to these days, I'm not sure, is of course Vikings, our favorite, one of our
oh
favorite TV
yes,
shows.
oh
Ivy's
yes.
too. Um, and this was amazing what they showed of this trailer. I just didn't expect that they're gonna show so much of the upcoming episodes. Like this is pretty shocking to me because it kind of answered some questions. It kind of had some spoilers in terms of what's gonna happen to Lagertha. I mean, at least now we know that she's not gonna die like right away, unless those shots are from 1, 2 episodes.
Yeah, depending on which episodes the shots are taking. But we don't know. Like we actually have these type of trailers have the tendency of being very misleading. Like you think something is going to happen, and you see the scene, but the scene ends in a completely different way.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean that's possible, but look, now they're trying to develop her relationship with the priest, which I don't
Mm,
think that's gonna last like for 1 or 2 episodes. There's something's gonna happen because he needs a development too. He needs to change.
yeah.
He needs to become a full man, so to speak, and really be with her. So we'll see how that goes. I'm thinking that I'm gonna see how that goes, and Ivor will take how was the name? Damn it, I forgot. Kattegat.
Catechet, yes.
He's gonna take Kattegat. They're gonna have to form a plan to stop him. I'm also kind of worried because we see only Bjorn attack. We don't see Lagarde there at all. Maybe she's gonna sit this one out. Maybe she's already captured by him because we do know from the first trailer that we ever saw, right after the middle season ended, that she's captured. She's prepared to be burned on a stake or something like that. So that's not good. That's not good. Um, don't actually. I mean, I cannot think why her hair got white. Maybe from all the stress, but she does look like a magical character, something like Siri from The Witcher, which is
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
I'm not sure how that's gonna fit in terms of logic, but because this is not a magical show, although we did have that moment where a guy that was basically presenting the raven,
Yeah,
he
all
appeared.
in when he informed the sons of Ragnar. That was good. That was amazing. That was an amazing scene.
Yeah, that's so
And
subtle. That's so subtle.
I think that this season will be very good. At least, like I think it's going to be the last season.
No, I don't think so. And I
They didn't
didn't
announce.
heard.
Well, if it's not, it's going to be good because we're Vikings. But I just hope they develop the story as well because in the last season they kind of weighed in a bit too heavily on the battles. Like nothing against the battles, but they at one point they kind of left the story out.
Well, yes, the battles are important because in the previous Viking season there were not actually that many battles, and some people
Yes.
did complain because it was only talk, 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 and never action, action, action. And then they tried to get in those. Uh, Good night to Hero Razor 2.
Night
Get
Mate.
Yeah, they try to make this better because there were a lot of fights and and reason for war back then, so it's suitable for that to be shown as much as appropriate, and I think they're doing that. I'm just gonna leave you to talk for a few seconds while I take care of something really urgent here.
About Vikings, I just want a good balanced season because, as you said, there weren't a lot of battles in the previous season, and in the last season there were a lot more battles. So if they balance it out and they give us again a great story with some battles, I'm going to be happy. I'm very impressed by the show up until now. It hasn't failed me. It's very interesting. I haven't found one dull episode at the moment, which is amazing because even some of my favorite shows do have the episode that you just like, oh, that was a boring episode. No, Vikings hasn't provided such an episode yet.
I totally agree with you. I mean, although I'm have to finish this, totally agree with you. It's been awesome, and as more as I watch it, it's just becoming more awesome in certain aspects. And some things they are, I mean, in some aspects of the stories, they do follow what happened in history according to what we know, especially what happened with Ragnar. It's exactly how it happened in history. That's
Yes,
interesting.
yeah, like because it's a history channel themed, like provided as a sponsor and as facts and everything. What these types of series, TV series, tend to do is take the story and insert some deviations from the story, adding some more epic stuff, removing some other stuff, but ultimately arriving to the conclusion that is historically accurate, which is nice, but it can provide with some TV series that I think both me and you had discussed recently that yes, okay, in the end you're historically correct, but you didn't show anything good.
Yeah, there's that too, but Vikings doesn't
Vikings is not that.
is not that,
Vikings
yes.
is just the opposite. Just how a good historical series should be made.
Of course. Yeah, I do agree. Just real quick to real look to the comments real quick. Oh, Ivy, because he's a big fan, he does know something. I know it. Mm, what? Ah, Bjorn versus Cyber. Alex, you're my son. Get used to it. Get used to it. Aha. Uwe versus Alfred. Lagertha as an advisor for Alfred against his brother. Interesting. Actually, Alfred's gonna be very much developed here because now he's a king. We actually see him with the shorter hair later on, so I suppose some years maybe gonna pass by. I don't know. That's not gonna end just like in 1 week for them. I think that's gonna be at least months. He says I think season 6 is in planning. There's no way they're gonna cover the entire Tales of the Sons in season 5 alone. Yeah, my thoughts exactly, and like I said, I didn't hear that the show's gonna get cancelled. Um, yeah, despite Vikings being my favorite shows of all time, I didn't like Pet Devet, Pet Deset. Sorry, Bulgarian came out 5/9 and 5/10. I don't remember particularly which were those episodes, like the last two episodes. Regarding history, it turned to be about 90% inaccurate, hehe, but I can think I see where Hearst is aiming.
The
Ah,
90% inaccurate is because like between the bits of actual history they add a lot of things that probably didn't happen just to up the action of the suspense of the movie itself. But the key stones in history were kept mostly. And just because like it's like having two points, beginning and end, and you have to fill it with something in the middle. So basically you fill it with whatever you made up.
Yeah, yeah. Although again, Rolo's what he's become. I mean, that I think was accurate to history. Don't think
There are
he
bits of
returned.
information that the more important stuff, the more major stuff that can be tied up to the whole thing. Yeah, but it's mostly thought up that leads to an actual historical event, which is nice. Which is because leaves a lot to the imagination that you can develop.
Hmm. Yeah, of course. And one more thing, he says yes, the last two episodes, the directing, this hint, side shots, the rushing of the scenes and all. Well, I didn't quite feel that, but I did feel it was kind of choppy just because it was going through one place that we seen the end result of that one place, the outcome, and what happened just before that. So it was kind of made to confuse us and keep us like in in tension all the time. Not that I didn't like that. It was just kind of weird for Vikings to do that, but I wasn't against it per se. Mm, completely. Well, they did grow. I kind of was worried about Lagarta because she's always so strong, strong, strong. But now they try to make her grow old like really fast or something like that, which is kind of ridiculous because when I see her next to Bjorn, he's supposed to be her son, he kind of looks like he could be her age, even older. I mean, she looks so young, damn it. It's ridiculous in a good way. I don't want to make her look old intentionally, and with great hair that doesn't mean that she looks older now, but it's implied that she's supposed to be. It's just implied, but she's not. Everybody looks the same. Actually, the sons only look worse and worse, but everybody else look like like not Rollo,
They're
Rollo.
growing up
Rolo kind of looks a bit older. Flock is like the same. Let's
with the
see.
beard.
Ivor just looks a bit more grown up, but still a young buck, so to speak. And yeah, Bjorn maybe's changed the most because he's like 25 or something. And they made his skin to look rough and like seasoned, and add to that the paint and the
Puberty
beard.
kicked in hard.
And he's the bigger guy, you know.
Yeah.
And so on. But yeah, well, Bjorn looks like Ragnar right now when he was a bit younger, basically. That's kind of funny, but Lagertha always perfect skin, always perfect everything. Although Catherine Winnick in real life looks actually younger than that. Yeah. She looks even younger than Lagertha. I mean, yeah, I just love that. They still try to scissor her a bit since I know how Catherine Winnick looks like. 53 says Ivy
Yeah.
here. To be honest, 14. So to me, it's a good thing because Hearst was tempted to make only the guys look old as hell. Are you sure? Never seen, how are the ages supposed to be in the show? So let me know when. I mean, where did you learn that? I never seen that information before. Maybe it's according to history. I have no idea. Just let me know where you learned that. But okay, something else about Vikings. I really have to go. Yeah, you can tell me your predictions of how you think this is gonna turn out, the whole war between the brothers and what's gonna happen to Lagartha.
Actually, I have no idea because Ivor is he's amazing. I love him. I love the character. I love the actor, and I think a lot of them will die. I don't know who's going. Like at this point, it's very unpredictable, and I don't want to make assumptions. I could read if there's something on the internet or historically to check, but I think that Ivor will die. Like this is my prediction, but he's gonna cause a lot of damage before that.
That's interesting. Helzo says Ivar will die. Just record that somewhere. Well, it's recorded here, but yeah.
That's my that's my assumption, because in this kind of shows usually someone with Ivor's character, like genius, evil genius, like who's mad, who's just calculating it. He does a lot of damage before someone finally going all the way and just busting him. And I think this is what's gonna happen.
Well, I'm just gonna say what I hope is gonna happen, because I know that the show is gonna shock me and I will not see anything coming. So I hope that Lagarde is gonna survive somehow, somewhere. I don't know how, because nobody's left from the original cast anymore. You know, we have Rolo that we barely see anymore. He's now gonna appear just to make himself look very important. Okay, I'm gonna read that, Ivy, just a sec. You know, Lagarde remained, Bjorn remained. I can think of anyone else actually that remained except those three. Those two. Oh, those three, of course. So, you have no idea. And then, you know, I really hope that Ivor's gonna get what he deserves somehow, because I really like him, but he's obnoxious, so obnoxious, and I really hope that somehow, some way, he's gonna find his master, which in Bulgarian means that he's gonna find his match, and he's gonna get it. I'm not sure that that's Bjorn exactly. Not that Bjorn is not smart, but he doesn't think as evil as Ivor does. So they're both smart, but Ivor thinks in a way that's always
Ivor
meant
doesn't have
to
ethical
hurt
inhibitions.
and
Like in the
destroy.
show, Ivor doesn't have ethical inhibitions. Like he doesn't actually consider anything ethically. He just calculates. He's
Yeah.
cold calculating, which is amazing in times of war, but he's a conqueror.
Yeah, that is the difference between him and Bjorn. I mean, like I said, they're both
Yeah,
smart, but because Ivar always thinks to destroy, kill, annihilate, he has kind of an advantage in that regard.
exactly.
Yeah. So yes, let's just return to Ivy, what he said, and then we're done. Oh no, you have to tell me something about Doctor Who, but just a sec. Okay, so the Wikipedia tells she's 53, but in truth, by the show's own words, she should be above 60 easily. She and Ragnar met as adults, but yes, Ivar is my second Ragnar. He brings so much charisma. Yes, he does. By the Ragnar saga, we can't really know, but Ragnar also had 50 wives. Whoa, mind blown.
Damn, that's my boy.
Wow, but Ivar, in history, this is perhaps the greatest Vikings and most successful of all time, but also a great ruler and leader. In the show is not the case, it seems. Yet he's just beginning, so they're either gonna end his story or they're continue his story like the great ruler and everything that he's supposed to be in history.
Hopefully.
You're gonna see about that. So enough about Vikings, we really have to go. So real quick, Liberty High. Tell me something that you know about Doctor Who, and what do you think? What do you expect of Doctor Who? Because I cannot say anything. I have never seen an episode
Okay,
of Doctor
so
Who.
three things about Doctor Who. First of all, first Doctor in all the 50 plus years of the show's runtime. This is the first woman doctor. This is the like this doctor will have three companions instead of one or two, which is strange for a new doctor to have. We have a new screwdriver, which is, if anyone watches the show will know what's happened, what that means. And I personally think that Jolly Whittaker would be amazing. Will be amazing in the show. She's brilliant. She's amazing. I love her. Like she's simply amazing as an actress, and I just know that she's gonna bring something very good to the show. So, if there are any Doctor Who fans, just know that I think the show is in good hands.
Okay, so that is about it, guys. I don't think that we can discuss something, especially considering our time. And I have no idea, again, if something additional is gonna come out from Comic Con, but if it is, I'm gonna try to cover that tomorrow. And we did what we could for tonight. Thank you very much to IC Helzo here for helping me with this stream and
Thank
giving
you.
his
You're welcome.
awesome knowledge and opinion. Thank you to everybody in the comment section, and for tuning into my 4 streams today. Uh,
Woo! 4 streams, baby.
Wow, yes. And that's it, guys. Have a good night. Have a great week. As I said, you can check out my reactions right now if you like. And till next time with me, Gary G Reviews. Bye, guys.
Cheers and stay fresh.